Remember the movie Up? It's a heartwarming tale that captured the imaginations of millions. The story of Carl Fredrickson, an elderly man who ties thousands of balloons to his house to fulfill a lifelong dream, is both touching and fantastical. But beyond the emotional journey, there's a fascinating question that lingers in the minds of many viewers. Carl, an old man, uses thousands of balloons to lift his house into the sky. Pure movie magic, right? The vibrant colors of the balloons, the whimsical idea of a house floating through the clouds, it's all part of the charm. But let's pause for a moment and think about the logistics. How many balloons would it really take to lift a house? And what kind of balloons would be needed? But have you ever wondered, could that actually work? Let's find out. The concept of using balloons to lift objects isn't new. In fact, it's rooted in the principles of buoyancy and the properties of gases like helium. Helium is lighter than air, which is why balloons filled with it rise. But lifting an entire house? That's a whole different ballgame. We're going to explore the science behind balloons, buoyancy, and whether a house full of helium could really take flight. To understand this, we need to delve into the physics of buoyancy. When an object is placed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force called buoyant force. This force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. In the case of helium balloons, the fluid is air. This isn't just a movie fantasy. There have been real-life instances where people have used helium balloons to achieve flight. These daring adventurers have strapped themselves to clusters of balloons and floated into the sky, much like Carl in the movie. It's a risky endeavor, but it demonstrates the potential of helium balloons. People have flown with large clusters of helium balloons. One famous example is Larry Walters, also known as Lawn Chair Larry. In 1982, he attached 45 helium-filled weather balloons to a lawn chair and soared to an altitude of 15,000 feet. His flight was both a testament to human ingenuity and a cautionary tale about the importance of safety. It's dangerous, but with careful planning and a good dose of science, it can be done. Modern balloonists take extensive precautions to ensure their safety. They use specialized equipment, conduct thorough weather checks, and have ground support teams ready to assist. The science behind their flights is meticulously calculated to avoid any mishaps. We're not going to build a flying house today, but we are going to do some fun calculations. Let's break down the numbers. The average house weighs around 100,000 pounds. To lift it, we'd need to displace an equal weight of air. Given that 1 cubic foot of helium can lift about 0.067 pounds, we'd need approximately 1.5 million cubic feet of helium. That's a lot of balloons. Get ready to explore the power of helium and the magic and science. The world of buoyancy and flight is filled with wonder and possibilities. While we may not be lifting houses anytime soon, the principles that make it possible are all around us. So next time you see a helium balloon, remember the incredible science that allows it to float and dream of the adventures it could inspire. Why do helium balloons float while others fall flat? It's all about buoyancy. Buoyancy is a fascinating concept that explains why some objects float while others sink. It all comes down to the density of the object compared to the fluid it is in. In this case, the fluid is air. Think of it like this. Imagine a bathtub full of water. When you fill a bathtub with water, you create a medium in which objects can either float or sink. The same principle applies to air, even though we don't see it as a fluid. If you push a beach ball underwater, it wants to pop back up. That's buoyancy. The beach ball is less dense than the water, so it rises to the surface. This is because the water exerts an upward force on the ball, known as the buoyant force. Helium is much lighter than air. When you fill a balloon with helium, the balloon becomes less dense than the surrounding air. This difference in density causes the balloon to rise. A balloon full of helium is like that beach ball in the bathtub. It's lighter than the air around it and wants to rise. The helium inside the balloon makes it buoyant, allowing it to float upwards. The bigger the balloon and the more helium it has, the more lifting power it gets. This is because the buoyant force increases with the volume of the balloon. So, a larger balloon with more helium can lift more weight. This principle is used in hot air balloons and airships, which rely on buoyancy to stay afloat in the sky. Hot air balloons work on a similar principle. Instead of helium, they use hot air, which is also less dense than the cooler air outside the balloon. By heating the air inside the balloon, it becomes buoyant and rises. Airships like the famous Goodyear blimp use helium to stay afloat. The large compartments filled with helium make the airship lighter than the air around it, allowing it to float and be maneuvered through the sky. So next time you see a helium balloon floating away, remember it's all about buoyancy. The principles of buoyancy are not just limited to balloons and airships, they are fundamental to understanding how objects interact with fluids, whether it's water, air, or any other medium. From ships that sail the seas to submarines that dive deep underwater, buoyancy plays a crucial role in their design and operation. Understanding buoyancy helps engineers and scientists create vessels that can float, dive, and navigate through different environments. In summary, buoyancy is a key concept in physics that explains why objects float or sink. It's all about the density of the object compared to the fluid it's in. Whether it's a helium balloon rising in the air, or a beach ball floating in a pool, buoyancy is at work, making our world a fascinating place to explore. Let's crunch some numbers. Have you ever wondered how many balloons it would take to lift a person off the ground? It's a fascinating question that combines a bit of fun with some basic physics. Imagine you want to lift a person weighing 150 pounds with balloons. This isn't just a whimsical thought, it's a real-world problem that can be solved with some simple calculations. Each helium-filled balloon can lift about 1/100th of a pound. This means that each balloon contributes a tiny bit to the overall lifting force. So, to lift 150 pounds, you'd need 15,000 balloons. That's a staggering number, isn't it? Just imagine the sight of so many balloons gathered together. That's a lot of balloons. It might seem impractical, but it's a fun way to visualize the power of helium and the principles of buoyancy. Remember, this is a simplified calculation. In reality, there are many more factors to consider. In reality, we'd need to consider the weight of the balloons themselves, the strings, and other factors. Each balloon and string adds a bit of weight, which means you'd need even more balloons to achieve liftoff. But it gives you an idea of the scale. The sheer number of balloons required highlights the incredible lifting power of helium, even if it seems like a lot. This thought experiment helps us appreciate the science behind buoyancy and the practical challenges of using balloons for lifting heavy objects. So next time you see a balloon floating in the sky, remember the amazing science that allows it to defy gravity, even if just a little bit. It's a small reminder of the wonders of physics in our everyday lives. Balloons aren't just for decoration or fun, they are a testament to the fascinating principles of science that govern our world. Whether you're a kid or an adult, there's always something magical about watching a balloon float away, carrying with it the secrets of buoyancy and lift. 15,000 balloons is a massive number. That's like covering a whole tennis court. In the real world, handling that many balloons would be a logistical nightmare. Plus, helium constantly leaks out of balloons, so they wouldn't stay afloat forever. There are other things to think about too. The wind could easily push you off course, and rain would make the balloons heavier. Flying with balloons is not for amateurs. Section 5, up, and away, safety first. Before you rush out to buy thousands of balloons, remember, safety first. Attempting to fly with balloons is incredibly dangerous, and should only be done by trained professionals with proper equipment and safety measures. There are much safer ways to experience the joy of flight, like hot air ballooning or gliding. These activities are carefully regulated and designed to minimize risks. Section 6. The movie, Magic of Up. Up is a beautiful movie, and the image of Carl's house floating through the sky is magical. But it's important to remember that it's just that, movie magic. Hollywood often takes creative liberties with science. In reality, lifting a house with balloons would be practically impossible and incredibly dangerous. Section 7. Back to reality. Balloons and the environment. Helium is a non-renewable resource, meaning once it's gone, it's gone. We use helium for important things like medical equipment and scientific research. Using it for thousands of balloons isn't the best use of this precious resource. Also, balloons can end up polluting our environment, especially our oceans. Let's be mindful of our planet and find other ways to celebrate and have fun. Section 8. So, can you fly away with balloons? Technically yes, but is it practical or safe? Definitely not. While the movie Up captured our imaginations, the reality of flying with balloons is far more complicated and risky. It's fun to explore the science behind the movies, but it's important to remember that real-world physics and safety always come first. Section 9. The final verdict. Science versus Hollywood. So there you have it. While we can't recreate the magic of up in our backyards, we can still appreciate the science behind it. Helium and buoyancy are powerful forces, but they need to be treated with respect and caution. Remember, the best adventures are the ones that are both fun and safe. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop learning.